Aloha and good morning, big wave trading family. We actually have quite a few positions for, I think, for what this market's giving us on a daily basis with the low percentage moves and the below average volume. But we have 3 new long positions and 1 add signal. And the main theme for the new long positions continues to be 2 things. Normally I look for 3 to 4 to 1 reward risk ratios. I require greater than 4 to 1, preferably 5 to 1 reward to inherent risk ratios right now, along with that risk ratio being under 5%. Now, one of our long signals combined with the 2 stops, it's right at 5%, and that's about cutting it here, but you'll see here in a little bit when we get to it. But for right now, let's go over the first long position. FCN. FCN showed up in my daily volume surge scan. There were only 18 stocks that made that scan today. It looks for stocks that are up on 10 times their average volume. FCN made that scan, and it obviously my price volume BOP surge scan. We have a bullish reversal hammer candle over candle price bar here. Huge volume and max green BOP. This is more than likely related to this stock being added to the S&P 600 index. These indexes do not add stocks if they're slouches. So the fact that FCN is sold off, it more than likely should be under accumulation since this stock is being added to the S&P 600. There's a huge board committee that makes these decisions. They do not take these decisions lightly, let me tell you that much. So FCN, when I get long, 2% of my capital, limit order 32.84. First cut loss level. The low a day here, this huge volume surge. This should work immediately. When you see volume like that, it should work immediately. However, sometimes they do like to undercut the lows, shake out the weak hands before moving higher. So if that's the case, my final cut loss level will be back here, 31.65. So 32.18, 31.65, my 2 stops, 32.84, the high day, my limit. Once again, the risk, if I'm wrong, is only right around 2%. And I'm looking for a move easily to these June highs, then the 200-day moving average, then preferably, hopefully, the December 2016 highs. All of this combined gives me right around looking for anywhere from a 10 to 60% return. So if we go around the middle, let's meet like around 35% with that 3% risk. That's well over 10 to 1. That's the kind of reward risk ratio I'm looking for. But the bottom line is that volume and BOP surge with that bullish price bar, too noticeable. FCN, it's got to go. Earnings are out of the way, so we don't have to worry about earnings, and it's being added to S&P 600. All is well on that end. The next new long position, brand new long position, CHGG. CHGG, you can see here, gapped up here. Looks like it's an earnings winner, doesn't it? And then it looks like we get that low volume pullback, what I always love to see. And then on the 3rd through 5th or maybe 10th day, if it's a flat base, we look for that bullish intraday reversal with near high day or high day close on a volume surge with BOP confirmation. Well, we got that beautiful hammer price bar here, closing near the high of the day, only 4 cents off the high of the day. Volume heavier than the session before. And max green BOP after having green BOP for the previous 20 sessions. So max green BOP for 3 days. So 2 more days. This one will be in my max green BOP for 5-day scan. And when it's already in my green BOP for 20-day scan, that's something I'm interested in. It's a semi-canceling quality stock. It has all the right IBD ratings except for EPS is 69, not 70. 70 is the minimum I look at to consider something canceling. Also, its composite rating is a 90. So if it had a 69 EPS but had a composite rating of 95, I would consider this a canceling quality stock. If it had over a 70 EPS with EPS and sales growth quite large in the most recent quarter, which it is not, needs to be stronger, that sales growth, then I would consider it canceling. But as it is, it's a semi-canceling. So 1% for canceling, 1% for making my green BOP for 20 days scan, and nothing for almost being max green BOP scan. But anyway, it's a 2% position for being 1% for semi-canceling, 1% for BOP. But it is extended from its 20-day moving average. It's 10 and 5-day moving average, so the signal's in half. So I want to put 1% of my account capital into CHGG. Limit order 1520 since it's extended. 1520. First cut loss level 1467. Final cut loss level filling that gap up at 1405. Now I said earlier it looks like an earnings winner, but it's not. It gapped off because offering went over very well, and the stock gapped up following the price offering. the share offering, and it's holding and looks like it wants to break out, move higher. Now this is coming after earnings. So technically, CHGG is an earnings winner because earnings are out of the way, had a strong move following earnings, pulled back on lighter trade overall before finding support near the 50-day moving average and then gapping up on the share offering. So it is a semi earnings winner also. So I want to get long, like I said, 1520, 1467, gap fill 1405, 1% of my capital. Then the add position that's of quality, QDEL. Once again, the stock has max green bop for well past the previous 5 days. You can see that it has green bop for the past 20 days. So you got it making both bop scans. You've got it doing so with volume heavier than the session before. You have a bullish candle over candle, an engulfing like candle pattern, candle over candle pattern. And so like I said the last time, I love all this green bop in the chart. I love all this max green bop the past 10 plus days in the chart. So it's a very, very, very nice looking pattern. Once again, I want to get long. Limit order 32.33. We can use the high of the day because it's not extended. And just like this weekend, first cut loss 31.05. Final cut loss the 50-day moving average, which is slightly above 29 right now. But if it violates 31.05 in any way, shape, or form by losing green bop or max green bop and or does it on heavier volume but does not touch the 50-day moving average, another half or all of the stop will be raised higher. So keep that in mind. But QDEL, just like CHGG, a very, very, very nice looking technical pattern with all the accumulation and green bop in both of these charts. Still doesn't guarantee that they work. Remember, summertime, seasonality is against us. The market indexes my models are mixed with buy neutral signals, with the majority of the momentum RSI 14 and MACD oscillators trending down, confirming the sketchiness of the market near its highs here. So keep all that in mind. And then also, I'm going to go ahead and post this one for everyone because it's not that speculative, but it's a technical speculative long position because the fundamentals aren't extremely great. But look at this stock since the May lows. Beautiful uptrending stock. Look at all the open body bars here. I love seeing that. I wish I could see more charts like this where you have higher closes than opens. That's that real body that's open. Shaded means that it opened up here, closed lower. But all these open body bars indicates that the stock closed stronger than where it opened. And I'd love to see that. If it had max green bop this entire way on this signal, I would obviously really like the stock. But the biggest problem is, even though the 5, 10, and 20-day moving average is all touching the intraday price range of the stock, the 50 and 200 day is pretty far away. So symmetrically, this little base here and even this base here is nowhere near this previous uptrend or the entire May to July entire uptrend. So if this uptrend had a base that was at least 3/4 of the length of the previous uptrend, either one, this would be better. If the 50-day moving average was even like halfway closer, that would even be better. But as it is, GSM, just a really solid looking chart, lots of green bop. Nice green bop, a surge back to green bop today, but once again, you'd notice that bop didn't explode higher. Volumes well above average of the pocket pivot point signal, which helped give, I guess, more conviction towards this bop move since it was kind of weak. But it's nice to see that bop never crossed below the zero line and then went green again with this pocket pivot point signal that starts to move. So GSM, want to get long, limit order at the high day 1290, first stop 1257, and then for now 1220 is my final stop, that last pocket pivot point signal low right here. But just like QDEL, just like CHGG even, and not FCN, if GSM violates this first stop on heavier volume or loses that green bop, half of the stop will be raised or all of the stop, depending on how it violates it, how it closes. There's a variety of different factors, but it's basically price and volume action. So we'll see how it goes. But GSM, QDEL, CHGG, FCN, GSM, this was only in my price volume bop surge scan, and since it's speculative, doesn't matter. It's pretty liquid. Well, it's not that liquid. What am I saying? Oh, it is. Oh, it's very liquid actually. Okay, so that's why it's a 1% position. It's not 0.25, not 0.5, not 0.75. It's actually a full 1%. So I'll put a